So now I'm going to teach Valkyrie to sit. I'm going to use both a verbal cue and a hand signal. Hand signals, in my opinion, are helpful because dogs are about body language. They can learn a verbal cue, but hand signals can be very helpful. Also, in a distracting situation, it's the same reason that a traffic cop or a crossing guard will say stop and then go ahead. The hand signals help in a distracting situation. The hand signal for sit is when I'm standing, it will be bending at the elbow, and it's the motion when my dog is looking at me of my palm up and stopping at elbow height. So again, she must be looking at me, palm up and to elbow height. If I do this with a lure in my hand and I go up, yes, her head goes up. Now I've done this a couple times with her. Her head goes up and her butt goes down. Think of that yes marker that we talked about in the first lesson as a camera, and you're taking a picture of exactly what you want your dog to do. Right? So this hand signal, I wait until her butt goes down and I will mark yes at the exact moment that she's in a sit position. Then the cookie comes out. So I start with a lure, which just means the cookie's in my hand here in front of her nose. I have her attention. I come up, yes. And then I feed her in position. If she got up, I would wait for her to sit again. You noticed I did not say the word sit. I get the behavior first, solid, and then I give it a label. I reload with another cookie, hand up, yes, and feed her in position. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move along a little bit. I'm going to do that until she's consistently, yes, until she is consistently doing this sit with the hand signal with the cookie in my hand. And again, I use the rule if she can do it 5 times in a row without having a mistake or doing something different, then I will push. Push meaning I'll go on to the next step. So now my next step is I'm going to do the same thing without food in my hand because I was using a lure. Without food in my hand, I will mark yes when she sits, and then I will feed her from my surprise hand, which has a cookie in it and is behind my back. Why? Because she's going to learn to work for me without visible food in my hand. So no food in this hand. Valkyrie. Yes. And I feed her with the other hand. The same thing in position. Good girl. Very good. Again. So I gave her a couple seconds to figure it out. Yes. And then I just did it again. So that time before I did the hand signal, and it may have been because I'm a little askew, I'm over to the side instead of in front of her. She was a little confused because it looked different to her. She did not sit. I didn't repeat. I didn't say anything. I gave her a couple seconds to figure it out, and then you just do it again. So I'm going to call her Valkyrie. Yes. And feed with the other hand. Good girl. You're a very smart girl, and you're pretty. Yes. So I will get that. Again, I'm working in one environment, my quiet environment, no distractions. This dog in particular is very shy. If I tried to do this in a group setting, she wouldn't be able to do anything. Each dog is an individual. But regardless of the dog, when I'm training something new, I start with the lowest amount of distractions as possible. So now I'm going to add the verbal cue, sit, and the choreography is important. I'm going to say sit, then do the hand signal right afterwards. So the label sit will predict this hand signal, which she has now learned that if she puts her butt on the ground, she gets rewarded. She's walked away. Valkyrie. Good girl. Yes. So So I'm going to do this one with the adding the label. Okay, get up. If your dog stays in position, which happens sometimes, I'll find it, a cookie just to get her out of position. Come here, girl. Sit. Okay. Come on, girl. Good. Sit. Yes. So that time, she was a little bit further away from me. Even though I did the same hand signal and I said sit, it was confusing to her. She was not being belligerent or fresh. She didn't understand what I wanted because the entire picture looked different. Keep that in mind. I'm going to do it again. Call her over. Valkyrie. Sit. Yes. So now I've added the verbal cue. So she knows that when she hears that word sit, it's going to be followed by a hand signal, and then she's going to put her butt on the floor. Once she's getting that down solid, at least here in the kitchen, with nothing else going on, I move on to intermittent rewards, which means sometimes when I say sit, you just get good girl or nice job or whatever I want to say. But for the remainder of her life, every once in a while, I am going to say sit and give her a cookie because she needs that intermittent reward to keep motivated for training. Just like you need to get paid at the end of the week or every 2 weeks or at least a month at your job. You're not going to keep showing up if you don't get paid. So to go on to intermittent rewards is after I have a solid behavior, and it will look like this. No food in my hand. Sit. And I'm going to move her up to start again. Sit. Yes. I rewarded that one because she failed at one, so she was a little bit confused because a little bit away. Toss a cookie to get her away from me. Valkyrie. Ready? Sit. So I will step in closer. Sit. Okay. Sit. Yes. Good girl. So what I did there is I gave her a cookie for the yes because twice she failed, and if my dog fails, and what I mean by that is she wasn't able to complete the exercise as I wanted, then I immediately drop my criteria and make it easier for her. So I stepped closer to her, said sit, she did, and I rewarded her. She's not quite ready to go on to intermittent rewards. Again, Valkyrie is a very fearful dog. That's why I have her from the rescue at the ASPCA. So for here, she's going to get a consistent reward until her sit is a bit stronger, and then I would get on intermittent rewards. Intermittent rewards just means sometimes I say sit, and I just say, good girl, you don't get a cookie, but every once in a while you're going to get a cookie until that is stronger. Okay, thank you.